What's up, y'all? This is Carolina Dog PT, and in today's video, we're going to be going over sternal precautions. So if you have recently had a cabbage, or if maybe you're about to have one and you're wanting to know what all is going to be involved, you should understand and know your sternal precautions. So what are those? So when your surgeon performs a sternotomy, or when he does the incision and cuts through, they're going to cut through bone and to remove the sternum and rib cage and kind of open you up so that they can more easily access your heart. So that's open heart surgery. If you're having that done, once everything is stitched back together, you're going to want to maintain your sternal precautions for generally, I'm going to say about 6 to 8 weeks. Now, that is going to be surgeon dependent. Certain different surgeons have said different things related to that. So you're going to want to know from your surgeon, for how long do I need to maintain this? So what are these sternal precautions anyway? So that's going to be several motions that you're doing with your arms, because we don't want to do things that are going to disrupt the healing of the surgical site that's going to be right at your sternum in the center of your chest. So these are going to be motions like reaching out, okay, pushing something, pulling back, reaching overhead, reaching out to the side, stretching, lifting anything that's going to be over 5 pounds. So usually what we like to tell patients is if it's heavier than a carton of, or lifting a carton of milk, like reaching out to lifting a carton of milk to pour a bowl of cereal, that is too heavy. Okay, you're not going to want to do that initially. So a full carton of milk is a good kind of general barometer of what is too heavy versus what's not, but in general about 5 pounds. Then over time they'll progress you usually to about 10 pounds. Also, you're not going to want to, when you're going to stand up, reach and push yourself up, okay, with your arms. You're going to want to, you can, if you have to put a hand down for a little bit of stability as you're standing, that's one thing, but they don't want you to use the armrest and reach back and push yourself up. Okay. So no pushing, no pulling, no reaching overhead, no reaching and stretching out to the sides. Okay. And no lifting greater than 5 pounds. Those are kind of the traditional sternal precautions that you would say. Another way you can think of that, and an example I like to give patients is you have to keep everything within, like if you pretend that you have like a box in front of you, maybe like a foot by foot box, anything under 5 pounds within that box, keeping kind of your elbows at your side, you can do. If you go outside of that box to do it, you can't do it. So things like brushing your teeth. Well, if you can get your head down into that box there, then okay, that's all right for you to do. Combing your hair, can't do that. Reaching out to put on a jacket, put on a shirt, can't do that. You're going outside. Anything that's going to bring your elbows out. But if you keep your elbows kind of in, you're within this little box, and we kind of joke it's kind of like the Tyrannosaurus Rex arms. that's kind of how you are for about 6 to 8 weeks is usually how long these precautions are in place. You can confirm all that with your surgeon. When maintaining your sternal precautions, not only do you not want to stretch and pull and push on anything that's going to make those areas kind of open up, but you also don't want to do things like pushing yourself up out of a chair, pushing yourself up out of it, lying in the bed. That's one of the reasons that a lot of times post-cabbage patients, when they're at home, they might like to, for the first few weeks, first week or two, they might like to sleep in a recliner. It's a lot easier to get in and out of a recliner than it is to log roll yourself out of a bed. But log rolling, that's a skill that your acute care physical therapist generally will teach you after the cabbage. So when you're in the hospital, they'll show you how to get out of the bed appropriately so that you're not pushing yourself up, because that's one of the things that you can't do. You can't use your arms to push yourself out of the bed from lying down. There's a specific way to log roll to get out. But using your arms to stand up and push yourself up, that's something that will also violate those sternal precautions. So you want to use your legs more. If you touch your hand down just for a little bit of stability, like kind of having, like a little kickstand on, I'm just kind of just lightly touching whatever I'm standing up from, just so I have a little bit of extra balance, that's fine. But you just don't want to push yourself up. Okay. Now I've had some patients who, accidentally they forgot and they said, oh no, I've been, I pushed myself up. Is that going to ruin the recovery of the incision site, and mean that I'm not going to have a good recovery? No, more than likely not. If you're concerned about it at all, if that's made you have, if you felt a pop or you felt, pain, significant pain after that, well, maybe you want to call your surgeon about that. But just in general, just having done that once is not that big of a deal. Usually, we would say that you wouldn't want to just constantly break your sternal precautions over and over and over and over again. Now that might lead to an issue. The purpose of maintaining these sternal precautions is to prevent putting stress on the area in your chest that has just been stitched and sewn back together and put back together. What the surgeon did is going to be very strong on its own, but it's not going to be as strong as when your bone has started growing back together, when scar tissue has started growing back together across it, at which point it will make it very strong. Okay, so it generally takes about 6 to 8 weeks for that process to kind of get underway. Good. I hope that this gave you some information that is beneficial for you. If it did, do like this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and share this video with anyone that you may think needs to know this. All right, y'all have a good one. Later.